Welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be touching on the top DFS plays for the Saturday early slate. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, just a quick recap, though, from the Friday slate. Friday slate was a pretty good day as in general. Hopefully, you guys were able to take advantage of that. Hopefully, you guys were on the live stream again. Had a lot of kind of slate changing value that popped up. I won't be doing a live stream for the early video here, but probably for the evening video as well. That'll be a 5-game slate. But the real difference maker on yesterday's slate was Tanner Conner, who, for whatever reason, was like 2% in a lot of contests. And that's a very big head scratcher to me. He was like the most obvious probably play on the slate that we had. Like, I know a lot of people are uncaged over. He was chalk, but there really shouldn't have been a difference between those two. And Tanner Conner obviously ended up being the top tight end scorer on the slate. Now, the running backs all did well as we thought. Quarterbacks did what we expected. Receiver-wise, it was a little bit hit or miss. But this was the biggest difference maker on the slate, and it was just super strange. So definitely a huge edge that was gained there. I kind of mentioned that I was just going heavy on him, especially during the live stream. But even before that, I was already going heavy on him. So that was a big advantage. And again, that was just kind of strange. I don't really know why he wasn't chalk. But what I'm going to do in this video is I'm actually going to go position by position just because, well, guys, it's late. I'm recording this video at like 11 p.m. So make sure to give a thumbs up on this video. That is greatly appreciated. But I want to talk about the quarterbacks, and we're going to go position by position. So Caleb Williams, we do know, is going to start, which really muddies up the situation. Now, we did see that the Bears had already played a game, and obviously Caleb Williams didn't play in that. But to me, that just kind of makes the playing time more difficult for them. And looking at it from the Bills side, we do know that Josh Allen is going to play about a quarter. This is something that has happened with the Bills before, but if you're telling me that Josh Allen is going to play about a quarter, which will probably be at least a drive or 2 drives against the Bears backups, you would hope that he'd be able to score a touchdown, but that could be part of it as well, guys. He could play until they just score a touchdown as well. That could just be one drive. We see that a bunch as well. But then after there, I haven't gotten confirmation on Mitchell Trubisky and then Shane Buechele's playing time. It'll be interesting to see if we get one of those players playing a half, because then we'd maybe want to target that. Getting into the Raiders, I think this is where a lot of people are going to get their most exposure because, well, we should be getting Minshew and also Aiden O'Connell playing at least a half. But reports are saying that they're going to play a legit quarter, whatever that means. I don't know. That was a quote from Monday, though, so that's really played out. They're going to get a decent amount of playing time. But what you're going to notice on this slate is that we don't have any like direct awesome quarterback plays. It's kind of a tight board. Sam Darnold's going to start in this game, and then JJ McCarthy is supposed to get a decent amount of work. He's probably the one I'm more gearing up towards. But the quotes that have come out of like Vikings camp is that they're kind of going to have the training wheels on him a little bit. So it's kind of a weird one there as well. Green Bay, which is annoying, is going to be playing Jordan Love. Now, I don't expect him to play that much. He's probably going to play a series or two. And then we're going to get Sean Clifford, who Sean Clifford played so much during the preseason last year, and he was a preseason stud. And so I'm very curious as to how much he's going to play in this one. But in terms of playing time, I think he is a strong likelihood to get a lot of playing time. But I'm also very excited to see Michael Pratt, who apparently has been playing well. This is a true quarterback number 2 battle. Now, I think Sean Clifford's going to win it. But chances are we're going to get a decent amount of playing time out of these two players. And we know that the Green Bay Packer offense has been a pretty healthy offense to target in preseason DFS. So far, I'm skewing more towards Pratt and Sean Clifford. Probably more Pratt. He is someone that if you type on X Michael Pratt, you're gonna have to scroll a little bit, but you're gonna see clips of him outplaying Caleb Williams. It's kind of a fun note. He's not a bad quarterback. Had a terrible Senior Bowl and then ended up falling to the 7th round. He could be. I don't want to say he's Brock Purdy. He's not. Well, I don't know. If you had to choose a player that he reminds me of, especially with the 7th round narrative, that would be Michael Pratt. Anyways, moving on to the Browns, we do know that Jameis Winston is going to start in this game, and then Deshaun Watson is not playing in this game. And so what does that mean? Are we going to get a lot of Tyler Huntley? I hope so. And then DTR, are we going to get a lot of him? Obviously, last year's rookie who lit it up during the preseason, especially during the Hall of Fame game. That's interesting to me. Now, yeah, DTR was a little bit banged up. That was earlier on. I am interested in this situation. I don't think Jameis Winston's going to play all too much. And so this is another spot where we're kind of getting a quarter and a half out of players. But that's the thing about this slate, quarterback-wise. It is very much open. So I think we might build the quarterback out last, honestly. based off of the receivers that we're going to be on. So let's go ahead and jump now into the receivers that we want to be on. Let's go ahead and start with the Browns. So Browns, the one player that's been getting a decent amount of hype for them is Cedric Tillman. And the Browns are a little bit banged up. There's obviously trade talks going on. Amari Cooper had a weird tweet about him being like, oh, I'm happy to go. Please trade me, pretty much. So that's not good if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. But Tillman has apparently been someone that has had a good camp. I wouldn't be surprised if David Bell or Thrash play well as well. But the one I want to target the most would be Tillman. And again, I think the team that where we're going to get our most value on the slate is probably going to be from the Green Bay Packers. We know Watson, Dobbs, Reed, and probably even Wicks probably won't play that much. From there, it does seem to be pretty wide open. Now, they are a talented receiver group, like top down. It's tough to argue they're not one of the best in the league, because you can even go down to Grant DeBose, who really looked good last year in the preseason. And he is someone that I think I'll be targeting again this year. He is someone that it makes sense to get a lot of playing time. He's someone that, historically speaking, with Matt LaFleur, that type of player has gotten a lot of work. So he is someone that I'm really looking to play. But guys, we still have Bull Melton, who's a lot of people are drafting him in season-long best ball drafts. He's still fighting for a roster spot. Now, they're probably going to carry 6 receivers because they're not going to want to get rid of Malik Heath, who I personally think is slightly better. Now, they're 2 different receivers, so it doesn't really count. Like, you use them 2 different styles, but we have those 2. Torrey's not terrible as well. So I will be mixing and matching Bo Melton and Malik Heath in there. On the 9-to-5 lineup builder, I will be setting this rule multiple times where I do when lineups include Sean Clifford, and I'll also be doing this for Michael Pratt. I want at least one of Bo Melton, Malik Heath, and Grant DeBose. I think that's going to be a smart way to go about doing that. And just a reminder, guys, that is available on 9to5sports.com, including your $10 membership. Take advantage of that. It's the best value out there. Projections will be loaded up in there probably 2 hours before the game starts. I know that's not the best. I might just do that after this video. Again, it's late, but it'll be the thing I do first thing in the morning, if not. And then getting into Minnesota, there was one kind of constant. It's that Jalen Naylor has been having a very good camp. Now, he is someone that we saw it last year with them. He is kind of battling for that receiver number 3 spot, maybe number 2 spot if Jordan Addison does end up getting a 3-game suspension like reports are saying. So I do like Jalen Naylor on the slate. It wouldn't be surprising to see that Brendan Powell have a good game as well. N'Keal Harry still has a heartbeat there. We'll see. But for me, Jalen Naylor is the one that's popping up the most. And then getting into the Las Vegas Raiders, they're in some interesting spots. So it's not going to show up here, guys, but they are pretty banged up. Looking at it, so Davante Adams apparently went back to Las Vegas for one of the birth of his children. So they're not currently in Las Vegas, just as an FYI. Well, I think now they are. I think they traveled. I don't know. They haven't been having their training camp, I guess, in Las Vegas. So Davante Adams traveled back for the birth of a kid. So I don't know if he's even going to be at the game. I'm assuming so. We'll see. But then they also are without Griffin, apparently. He's been banged up. Foreman has been banged up. And then Keelan Doss has been banged up as well. And so that's preseason news for you, as we've come to learn. But that does leave them kind of thin, and not a lot of people are going to notice that. So we should be getting a very big advantage here. So one player that has been having a good camp, that has kind of been getting hype and praise, is Ramil Keaton here, the former Tennessee receiver. He is someone that I do like a decent amount for this one. It's weird. Like, this slate is not as direct as the last few ones. And hopefully it is before lineup lock. But he is someone that currently, just given the news that we have, I'm happy to play him. Now, again, they do appear to go deep at receiver. They're not that deep at receiver. Wilkerson is someone that has been a preseason stud. I know he was more so with that old coaching staff, with the Josh McDaniels coaching staff. He's kind of a poor man's Jacoby Myers, but he's still someone I'll get some exposure to. Just he kind of has that leash. And for what it's worth, apparently DJ Turner has been having a very good camp. He's someone that's more of a special teams player, but obviously you need those players to produce. And then Trey Tucker, I think he's still going to get a decent amount of playing time. He's kind of their big play guy, big speedy guy. But with Michael Gallup retiring, he's someone that is going to get maybe reduced work because, well, they just don't need him to do that much work. They don't want him to get injured anymore. Jumping into the Buffalo Bills, it is kind of a tougher situation. Again, they are casually banged up, if you will. I don't know who's going to play that much. We got KJ Hamler there, who apparently is looking healthy. And if he's healthy, he might be someone we look at. I worry that I was wrong about him. He was someone I was pretty hyped about as a rookie. Just hasn't been healthy. But one player that has been getting a lot of hype out of camp is Terrell Shavers. He is someone that had a good camp and decent amount of hype out of camp last year. So he's someone I will be targeting as well. Obviously, you can play Keon Coleman. He's someone that will look to get involved. I could see him having a hot start. I could see Josh Allen trying to targeting him pretty heavily early as well. Apparently, MVS has had his drops. No surprises there. And then Chicago. Chicago's difficult again. That Hall of Fame game is kind of throwing me for a loop. Like, are they really going to give Colin Johnson a lot more work again? Now, obviously, he had a great game. I think I'll still be targeting him, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Scott gets a little bit more work in this game. He's someone that does. Someone need to prove himself, but so does Rome Odunze as well. I don't mind kind of getting some pieces of those. So like for me, when I'm saying that, guys, I'm probably going to have like 5%. Velus Jones Jr. is reportedly going to for sure get running back snaps in this game. Matt Eberflus was pretty vocal about that. So it's a way to sneak maybe a running back into your receiver spot if you want to do that. Now, how much is that going to be? It might be one series. It's not going to be too much, but they are trying to find unique ways to get him involved. Let's go ahead and jump into the running back position now. Running back is much more up in the air. Again, I'm hoping that we get some more injuries. Right now for the Bears, really nothing there in terms of predictability, in terms of playing time. For the Buffalo Bills, I will say we get a little bit of it. Like Ray Davis, I'm kind of happy to attack. Now, Ray Davis has apparently looked really good. Just how much work is he going to get if he has looked that good? That's my concern there. So, probably not going too crazy there. Las Vegas-wise, Dylan Lubb, I think that's how you say his name. He is someone that apparently has been looking really good. He is kind of fighting for the third down back job with Amir Abdullah. Amir Abdullah, if he was going to get a lot of playing time, I would love to target him. Apparently he's going to. So I will have some pieces of him. Right now I'm probably thinking 15% Abdullah, 15% Dylan Lubb. Brennan Brown was someone that if Josh McDaniels was still the coach, I would be targeting him so heavily. Josh McDaniels was someone that loved the preseason workhorse back, but Brennan Brown is terrible, so we don't want to be targeting him. So, yeah, I'm probably going Dylan Lube. Guys, I've heard it pronounced like 3 different ways, and I'm someone that when I hear it in my head, it just sticks. And like I said, I just need to hear it correctly a few more times. Looking at the Minnesota Vikings, I want to call out that CJ Ham. He can play running back, but he's more of a fullback for sure. Myles Gaskin's there, but who really cares? I'm not going to butcher the name, but like running back wise, it makes sense for him to get a decent amount of work, like 7 carries, 6 carries in this one. Dwayne McBride is trash, so I'm not like too excited to play him in this game. So Tyler Chandler, Aaron Jones, don't expect them to play much. There we go. Aaron Jones is unlikely to play in this one as well. So yeah, probably just going here and maybe hoping for the best running back wise. Again, it's not the best running back slate as it sits right now. We jump into the running backs though for the Green Bay Packers. I will say I do kind of like the idea of potentially targeting Marshawn Lloyd and also Emmanuel Wilson. Josh Jacobs, I wonder how much work he's going to get. Apparently AJ Dillon is looking really good in camp, the best shape of his life, which it's kind of crazy. The dude's always been in shape. I don't know what that means. I think he just maybe lost a little bit of muscle or not trying to bulk as much, maybe. I don't know. Marshawn Lloyd, though, he is kind of, I don't want to even say he's battling for the running back number 2 spot. I think he's kind of more of in a battle with the number 3 spot with a back that's basically the exact same as him, Emmanuel Wilson. Watching the film, a lot of people like to say Marshawn Lloyd was Josh Jacobs 2.0, and I'm like, sure, but we already had that back in Emmanuel Wilson. Now, Lloyd's a little bit faster, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Emmanuel Wilson have a good game in this one. He is someone that, again, looking at quarterback trends or preseason trends, Matt LaFleur is someone that does like to have kind of a preseason back that he does run into the ground. That's Emmanuel Wilson to a T. Might as well get him some playing time now. And so he's someone that I do like a decent amount as well. Actually, right now, I'll slot him in there for his lines or for his spot. Running back wise for the Cleveland Browns, however, though, is probably going to be the sweet spot. I don't think I mind the idea of running maybe 2 Cleveland backs out there. So looking at guys, you got Nick Chubb. He's obviously injured. You got Naeem Hines. He's a little bit banged up. Deontay Foreman just returned to practice after a very scary injury. I don't expect him to play in this one. And so that does leave them very thin. You got a preseason stud in John Kelly. How much is he going to play? We'll see. But Pierre Strong is kind of the most logical option. I worry that he's going to be a little bit too obvious and he's going to end up being chalk. But just given the amount of running backs that they have available in this game, like I don't expect Jerome Ford to play that much in this game just because, they are banged up. And so, yes, Pierre Strong, easily going to be the player I want to get on the most. Maybe for now we take out Wilson and put Pierre Strong in there. I think that does make sense. But again, we could probably just double dip with 2 running backs and maybe just go John Kelly. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. And really, guys, once a site like Prize Picks, Underdog, Pick 6 comes out with their lines for that spot or that position specifically, but mostly the Cleveland Browns running backs, that's when we'll be able to tell who we should be on the most. And so right now, kind of looking at the lineup process, it is kind of spread out receiver-wise. I don't exactly like that. I do know the tight end I want to be on. There's one that's Mitchell here. Zaire Mitchell. He's like the only tight end that's been getting hype out of camp. Honestly, guys, if you have a tight end that you like that I didn't call out, please let me know. I don't think we're going to have any Tanner Connors, any 2% owned, easy, core play tight ends. I don't think we're going to have that on this slate. It's super strange that he wasn't chalk. Anyways, Mitchell's kind of the one I want to be on the most right now. And so as it sits right now, given the lineup construction, I think it makes the most sense to maybe go with a Cleveland quarterback. The issue with the Cleveland quarterbacks is Huntley and DTR do rush the football a decent amount. So I don't know if I exactly want to do that. And so this is the weird part of the slate. Maybe I go with Sean Clifford, hope for the best. I'm kind of okay with that as well. Really, honestly, the best option is probably to go with a Las Vegas Raiders quarterback. I don't know, it's up in the air. And then obviously defensively, it doesn't really matter who we're jumping on. But that's going to be all for the day's video. Again, guys, recording this extremely late at night. Make sure to give a thumbs up. That is going to be greatly appreciated. We'll be coming out with a video for the main slate as well as prop betting wise as well. If you guys want access to that lineup builder, head on over to 9to5sports.com. That's going to be included in your $10 a month membership, included with all the other tools that are available on the website as well. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Give a like and subscribe again. Appreciate that. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.